Not only is this not a complete tally of the ridiculous CARE stories for July, we are only barely halfway through the month. CARE starts off the month calling for the removal of the Stone Mountain Memorial, something they have nothing to do with.
Activists are turning their attention to a carving etched on the side of Stone Mountain. Many of us have seen it. CBS 46's Brittany Edney joins us live from Stone Mountain with the story. Brittany?
Tracy, the Georgia chapter of the Council of the American Islamic Relations is calling on lawmakers to make legislative changes so that way Confederate monuments like the one here at Stone Mountain, all of those can be addressed.
CARE moves on to confront graffiti in Idaho. CARE has nothing to do with this. There isn't even a CARE chapter in Idaho.
Pocatello graffiti that has been deemed racist now gains national attention. The Council on American Islamic Relations, known as CARE, condemned racist graffiti messages found spray-painted throughout the popular Kirkham Trail Tunnel in South Pocatello today. In a statement, the group CARE said, quote, "We need to make it clear that we will not tolerate hate speech in any form or at any level in our society. The messages we should send are those that promote mutual respect and understanding," end quote. Pocatello Police is investigating the graffiti. It has already been painted over.
Another hoax that CARE takes part in. Sophia Rashid has absolutely no evidence that a motorcycle club harassed her. The picture, she claims, is of one of the group that locked eyes with her is from Norway.
So today, dozens gathered in Lowell Park near the lift bridge to make it clear that hate is not welcome in Stillwater.
This rally was put on by Stillwater community members and the Council on American Islamic Relations.
This event and all of you showing up is also part of the discussion and the activities and the efforts that are happening all over this country.
Rashid looked and dressed just like this, an expression of her religion, when she took her little girl for an excursion to Stillwater recently. That night, Rashid believes hate was on full display.
Did you feel targeted?
Absolutely.
Why?
When you're visibly a minority, you start to learn how to analyze the safety or danger of a situation very quickly.
This is a good indication of just how good Muslims have it in America that they have time to complain about this. Nevertheless, this has become an international news story.
Minnesota chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations plans to calling out a Starbucks store in St. Paul after an employee allegedly wrote ISIS on a Muslim customer's cup. Here's a picture of the cup that CARE Minnesota shared. They say this happened at the Starbucks store inside the Midway Target last week. The woman who got that cup says she gave the employee her name, but when she got her drink, this is what was written on it. CARE Minnesota asking for the worker who wrote it to be fired, as well as the manager who told them that it was a mistake.
CARE was an instigator of the George Floyd riots. CARE has never condemned the riots, calling them an uprising instead. And even now, after the violence has subsided, they continue to agitate, even dictating terms to the city of Minneapolis.
The Council on American Islamic Relations speaking out this morning in the wake of George Floyd's death. They're demanding lawmakers get the job done when it comes to police reform.
Minnesota killed George Floyd.
Following a public demonstration of support for Black Lives Matter by the staff of a dental clinic for American Indians, chalk messages start showing up. CARE has nothing to do with this.
Tuesday, July 14th, just before 5:30 a.m.
It seems super passive-aggressive.
Gerardo Loera says surveillance cameras captured a person walking their dogs, stopping, then crouching outside the entrance of the Indian Health Center of Santa Clara Valley, where they later discovered the letters.
White Lives Matter reference WLM.
We are living in an era where hate crimes have been normalized and encouraged from as far up as the White House.
Nonprofit organization Council on American Islamic Relations works with other advocacy groups on hate crimes in the Bay Area. Executive Director Zahra Bilu says they've seen an increase in racist attacks this year. She says reporting incidents is more important than ever.
We need it to be able to advocate on their behalves, but it also helps us understand the depth of the problem. Freedom of speech is expansive. It does not, however, include vandalism or hate crimes, period. End of sentence.
A shooting range won't allow a Muslima to wear her hijab. She can't accept this, saying, "I won't let anything come between me and my hijab."
A local Muslim woman wants the Department of Justice to investigate a Missouri gun range over what she calls racial discrimination.
On January 1st of this year, Rania Barakat went to Frontier Justice Gun Range in Lee Summit.
As we were getting ready to pay, she had told me that I have to take my scarf off in order to go into the gun range and shoot.
She was wearing a hijab, a religious head covering some Muslim women wear when in public.
I've encountered racism before, but it was never to the point where someone had told me to remove my scarf in order to enter a facility or do any type of activity like this.
Range officials say they were not trying to discriminate against the customer, but instead it was for safety reasons, and it was to protect that customer in particular from this.
Any pieces of clothing that can perhaps be a safety issue and catch brass or potentially cause risk for burns. It's not only just getting burned, but it's the reaction as you're getting burned. A lot of times we see people pointing guns at other people when they're moving around after they're being burned.
A scenario the CEO, Mike Brown, says can be fatal, and the reason they have a very strict dress code. He says he's spoken with Rania about these guidelines and has given her alternatives.
She is more than welcome to use any of the services we provide other than being on the range if she's not willing to adhere to our safety guidelines.
Rania, along with the Council on American Islamic Relations, will keep fighting.
I will not allow anyone or anything to come between my hijab nor my religion.
I think Brooke Shields did it better, don't you?
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
Apparently, CARE will do anything except confront violent Muslims. They really need to start doing their job, or it's time to fire the ridiculous and negligent Council on American Islamic Relations.